You know, there's this unspoken secret in every accounting firm. It's a hamster wheel, and it is spinning faster than ever before. And I'm not just talking about the usual tax season sprint, no. This has become a year-round marathon that's just leading to burnout, high turnover, and this really frustrating ceiling on your growth. But what if? What if you could just step off that wheel? Today, we're going to talk about a huge shift in thinking that's changing the whole game for firms that are paying attention.
So let's just get real for a second. Does this whole cycle sound a little too familiar? You're constantly overloaded, your best people are completely exhausted, and it feels like you're just treading water instead of actually moving forward. If that hits home, trust me, you are not alone. And what's the first, most painful symptom of this? Your top performer, the one who knows every client's history inside and out, they put in their notice in the middle of March. The ripple effect from that is huge. It's a massive hit to morale, it disrupts your client relationships, and it's a direct blow to your bottom line.
And then the second blow lands. You actually have to start saying no to good, new business. You know you should be growing, that the opportunity is right there, but your team is already at max capacity. You just don't have the bandwidth.
All while this is happening, you're looking at the numbers and watching your profit margins just shrink. You and your team are working harder than ever, but with rising salaries and overhead, you're keeping less and less of what you earn. It's an absolutely frustrating, totally unsustainable loop.
Okay, so here's the crucial thing to understand. This is not a people problem, it is a system problem. That traditional model for growth in the CPA world, get more work, hire more people, it's fundamentally broken. Let's break down exactly why.
And what's really fascinating here is how all these points just feed into each other, creating this perfect storm. We've got fewer accounting grads, which makes finding top talent really scarce. And that drives salaries way, way up. So to compensate, firms just pile more work onto the teams they already have, which, you guessed it, stretches them too thin and leads directly to burnout. It's a vicious cycle that you just can't hire your way out of anymore.
So how in the world do you break out of it? Well, the forward-thinking firms, the really smart ones, they're making a strategic shift. They're starting to use outsourcing not just as some old-school way to cut costs, but as a modern tool to fundamentally upgrade their operations and, most importantly, to support their teams.
And look, this slide just nails the difference. The old way was so linear, so reactive. Get work, then scramble to hire people. The smart way is about building a flexible hybrid team from the get-go, combining your core in-house talent with a global outsourcing partner.
The advantages here are an absolute game changer. Just imagine this. Your team leaves at 5 p.m. and they come in the next morning to find a whole batch of returns already prepared. That's the power of 24-hour productivity with a partner in a different time zone. And you're not just saving on salaries. Think about benefits, payroll taxes, office space. It all adds up. And when that sudden rush of work hits, you can scale your team up instantly without a single job posting or interview.
Okay, but knowing all the benefits is one thing. Actually implementing it the right way is something else entirely. So let's get into the mechanics of this. It's not about if you should outsource, it's about how you do it right. And the key is getting super clear on roles and making sure your firm's brand and quality are always protected.
And that brings us to what is maybe the most critical question you have to ask first. Before you even think about delegating a single task, you need a crystal clear understanding of which roles belong in-house and which ones are just perfect for a partner.
This table lays it out perfectly. Look at the controller role. It's all about strategy, forecasting, high-level reporting, internal controls. That absolutely has to stay in-house. But the accounting manager role, the one focused on all the day-to-day operations like bookkeeping and reconciliations, that is the ideal candidate for outsourcing.
Yeah, think of it this way. Your controller is the person guiding the ship. They're setting the direction, making sure you're on course. That is a high-trust, high-strategy position that should always be close to leadership.
But the engine room, the heavy lifting, the day-to-day operational work that keeps the ship actually running, that's exactly what you can and probably should delegate to a trusted partner. Doing this frees up your in-house team for the more valuable client-facing work they should be doing.
Now, I know a common worry is, but wait, what will my clients think? And this is where the whole white label concept is so incredibly powerful. Think of it like a store's own brand. You trust the quality of the product, but you don't really know or care who actually manufactured it. Your outsourcing partner works completely behind the scenes, under your brand. As far as your client is concerned, everything comes from you.
And the power of this model is that it's all about control and confidence for you. You are still the single point of contact, which maintains that crucial client trust. You're the one who defines the processes and the quality standards, and your partner simply executes. This lets you seamlessly handle way more work without your clients or your competitors ever knowing you've expanded your team. All right, so let's apply all this to the ultimate stress test for any CPA firm: tax season. I mean, what if this year didn't have to be another frantic, caffeine-fueled scramble to the deadline? Just think about all the hours, the thousands of hours spent on data entry and basic prep work. A huge chunk of that can be effectively outsourced. And listen, this isn't about replacing your tax experts. It's about elevating them. Instead of grinding through data entry, they can focus on high-level review, on complex tax planning, on client strategy, the work that truly adds value. And the results? They're pretty transformative. You end up with faster turnaround times for your clients. Your cost per return goes down, and maybe most importantly, your team experiences significantly less burnout. They can finally breathe and focus on being advisors instead of just data jockeys. Okay, I know this can feel like a really big change, but it does not have to be overwhelming. The absolute key is to start small with a clear, low-risk plan. This 5-step path is proven, and it's all about being low risk. First, start small. Please, don't try to outsource everything at once. Just pick one well-defined function, maybe bookkeeping for a handful of clients. Second, document everything. Create clear, step-by-step processes so nothing is left to chance. Third, run a pilot project. Test out the partnership with a small batch of work to iron out any kinks. Fourth, and this one is crucial, you keep control. Your in-house team should always handle the final review and all client communication. And finally, you scale gradually. Once you've built that trust and a smooth workflow, you can expand the partnership at a pace that feels right for you.
And honestly, this right here is the most important takeaway of all. When you position this correctly, outsourcing isn't a threat to your staff. It's a tool to support them. It's about offloading the repetitive, grinding tasks so they can finally focus on the strategic, advisory work they were actually hired to do.
So, as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Take a hard look at your current model. Is it just built to help you survive the next busy season? Or is it truly structured to help your team, your clients, and your profits actually thrive in the years to come? The choice, really, is yours.